Hello everyone, it's Varus, and in this video I'm going to give you a full nationwide weather forecast as well as an update on the tropics, an update on the severe weather, and something a little interesting and special at the end. So let's get right into it. So sorry I wasn't able to post yesterday. For those who didn't see my post, my internet was down, but we are back, and yeah, let's get right into it. So again, we're going to start out with the forecast. We're just going to run the full 384 hours through the GFS, which is a supercomputer model prediction, which basically just predicts our weather. So going forward, we have rain and active weather overall in the east, and we've had that again. I've been talking about this in my videos, and overall we just had an active east and a much more hot, dry west, and so that looks to be prevalent throughout the rest of this week, and even getting into the weekend, it just continues to stay active. Some activity gets going towards the west as well, but when I mean it's hot in the west, it's hot in the west, especially along the western coasts of California, Oregon, all overall just the western coast is very hot. Now, this is getting far out, but overall, you see, okay, we have precipitation in the east. So you obviously see that it's active over there. You see some activity over here, some activity going on in the Rockies and the mountains, but overall, it's pretty quiet and nothing much really looks to form. So that's overall your forecast and what to expect. And now getting into the tropical update. First starting out with the Atlantic, and no tropical cyclone activity is expected during the next 7 days. So very quiet tropics right now. Keyword right now. Now, Eastern Pacific, we do have a little area of interest to watch here, which actually has a 30% chance of developing the next 7 days and a 10% through the next 48 hours. So, something to watch. This is going to continue trekking at a general motion of northwestward, even getting into the Central Pacific. I keep trying to say Pacific, but Pacific. This is also marked by National Weather Service in Hawaii, and it's marked by this little yellow sketched out X, which is again has a chance to form. We'll see if it really does. Now getting into the severe weather. This is today's outlook, which has ended, but it was a slight risk overall. And I mean, it's still kind of going on, but overall, just a slight risk up here in North Central and a slight risk over here in the Midwest. And I was talking about this risk in my other videos. Again, tornadoes, a low percent, but wind and hail, definitely the main threats. However, getting into tomorrow, otherwise known as Monday, we have an enhanced risk for some pretty large populated areas such as the major city of Chicago, areas of Indiana, other northern areas of Indiana, Illinois, eastern areas of Iowa, portions of Wisconsin and Michigan. So, and even a little portion of Ohio. So overall, pretty expansive or pretty populated, like it's affecting very highly populated areas. Looking at the tornado risk, we have a 5%, so definitely something a little interesting. So definitely could have a few brief spin-ups in these areas, especially right in this area of Chicago. You're bordering it. Now, wind is definitely one of the main, if not the main threat. A 30% and then hatched, which is 15% or a 10% or greater probability of wind gusts exceeding 65 knots within 25 miles of a point. So almost hurricane force, but overall, it might be hurricane force, but overall, if you're in this hatched risk and this 30%, you're basically in the worst of it. So please be prepared for those winds. And then hail, general 5%, nothing too much with the hail. And then now going on with the day 3 outlook, a wide swath of marginal risks are posted all the way from almost areas of Colorado, Wyoming, all the way up through the entire state of Maine. So it's a pretty large swath, but again, it's just a marginal risk, nothing too crazy. Now day 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, again, doesn't really look too active. So for now, days 4 through 8 doesn't look too big for now. Again, this could definitely change. Now getting into the little special thing I wanted to talk about. Now, people have been talking about how, so CSU which is an organization that puts out hurricane forecasts every year. They have lowered their probabilities. The European model had a had like a 2 times activity, or much more, way above average activity, and they have lowered their forecast. Why has Euro lowered their forecast? Why has CSU lowered their forecast? And other major weather sites also lowering their forecast. It has to do with the Nino 3.4 index, also known as the El Nino La Nina area. So this is basically a pool of water located off the eastern Pacific, a strip of waters located in the eastern Pacific off the coast of Mexico. Cooler conditions, if it's cooler, it's a La Nina. If it's warmer than zero, if it's above average temperatures, it's El Nino. So right now, as you can see, we were in a El Nino that has been decreasing and starting to level out. It's becoming more neutral. And what that means, La Nina is favorable for hurricane activity. However, we've seen that El Nino dropping into La Nina. However, as you can see, it's kind of been on a neutral, if not a slight rise. And that, it's kind of been, yeah, again, end zone neutral. We call this end zone neutral. If it's not really positive, if it's not really negative, we call it around end zone neutral. So neutral phase. And since it has been neutral, we haven't really seen any other storms. This is why it's have been a little quiet. Has been a little quiet. That's still kind of normal, but that's why many people are lowering their forecasts for a less intense hurricane season, because this La Nina drop has supposedly leveled off for now. Again, this will likely continue dropping sooner or later. But this is definitely for a later video. Definitely way too early to get into any details, but this will affect our winter. This will likely affect our winter, and it can have an impact on our winter. And yeah, that's all I have. So that's a little special thing. Hope you enjoyed the video. Just try to keep it quick, try to keep it concise. And yeah, have a great rest of your day. God bless.